If you had agreed with Princess Twilight's idea about organization, compliment Rarity's social grace, and have Sweetie Belle spend time with her sister, then you would have unlocked a bonus scene called Mayor's Dream, where the mayor would have want you to stop by her office later on and spend some quality time with her. Make sure to create a video about that when you replay that part again. And so, after reading this comment, I've decided to get back to Ponytail Adventures, still the same version that I've had played previously, to figure out what exactly this quality time entails. But I'm going to, because I have nothing saved, I'm going to go ahead and completely do another playthrough just to get to the end. Huh. This time I picked the other saddlebags, and turns out the ones under the seats are yours because no party favors. Didn't read through what the change in dialogue was, though, so excuse me for that, Muffin. And we're already at the picnic, but I may have already made a mistake, so I'm going to save here just in case, because I may have clicked skip too many times. Alright, let's do Rarity first. Let's compliment on her social graces. Compliment her social graces. Her attention focuses on you, her hoof raising to touch her chin.
How astute! Are you a fellow socialite?
Sorry, I skipped the earlier parts. I just decided that I'll probably go through the new dialogue, so. Those azure eyes of hers glimmers as she steps a bit closer, the scent of orchard hanging over her form. Eyes lidded, she raises a forehoof.
You have a good eye, darling. There is a certain way one needs to hold themselves if they want to garner respect in the upper echelons of society.
Aye, boy. And this is why I didn't compliment on her social graces last time. And just like that, you'll find yourself watching as Rarity poses for you. Her chin raised, neck extended upwards, her chest pressed outwards.
If you need to take control of a situation, this is how you let ponies know you are meant to be there. Meant to make the decision.
Whatever you say.
Of course there are.
It's then, right? What? I think there's a typo going on here. It's then Rarity just turns just to the side. A more demure expression, a more subtle feminine posture as she gazes into your eyes. You're locked into the azure pools for the longest time. The cant of her hip, the curve of her chest, the slight draw of her stomach, everything seems more purposeful, controlled, manipulated. Even her breath has a cool to it, her mane brushed by a single hoof. Yes, I get it, she's beautiful.
Don't you agree, darling?
Rarity's voice drops low, husky as she speaks, like a heavy curtain being drawn. Her tone suffices your mind with heated thoughts. I still like Me By better. That perfume, rich with notes of orchard, it tickles your nads. As Rarity finishes her pose, she smiles at you, leaning a bit closer. As nobody else is staring, you're rather certain you are the only one to see such a view. Blood rushes to your cheeks as the teasing mayor gives you a titter.
Goodness, look at me. Showing my best poses to a stallion I barely know. My heart is aflutter, isn't yours?
You swallow, trying to keep your heart in your chest. Yes.
It might be best if you go have a drink, no? As for me, well, social graces don't polish themselves, do they?
Rarity gives you a wink as you try to stammer out a response and fail. You give a small shake of your head. As the mayor giggles at you, you feel warm at the fact that you two just shared a secret. Something to be kept under your hat, so to speak. Where did that even come from? I just complimented her. What the hell? Stiff, you move over to the punch bowl to get a drink, trying to calm yourself down. Alright, let's try not to mess up Sweetie Belle then. Hey, it's that filly from earlier. What did Rarity call her? Regardless, you feel bad for her, blah, 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 blah. Skip the conversation we already had. Skip, 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 skippity, skip, 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 skippity. Spend time with your sister. Why aren't you spending time with your sister?
Duh. She's way too busy and she closed the door on me earlier. She was being a jerk.
Reconcile. If she's your sister, I doubt she would close the door on you on purpose.
That's what she said. You're on her side.
You're startled by the vehemence in her voice. You shake your head, giving an unsure smile down to her. No, sweetie, I'm on your side. Maybe she wasn't thinking of you enough, but I'm sure it was an accident. Besides, if you don't make up with her, you'll be alone, right? Isn't it at least worth a shot?
Yeah, I guess.
You know, I think over the years, when it comes to the Cutie Mark Crusader, I think Sweetie Belle has always, not always been my favorite, but she's taken my favorite spot. I think at first it was Apple Bloom, then it was Scootaloo for a bit. Now it's definitely Sweetie Belle. Go on, you can do it. You pat the filly on the back, then guide her over to the crowd. Sweetie gives one last look, then makes her way between the older pony's legs with practice motions.
Rarity! Why did you close the door on me?
Squeaky filly.
Sweetie Belle, this isn't the
I
best
still think that
time
hat's
to
adorable, by
talk
the
about
way.
this, and
Pony begins to stare. The various questions thrown Rarity's way stop dead. Sweetie Belle stomps her hoof at her older sister.
We need to talk about it now. That really hurt my feelings.
Oh, sweetie, it's not like I did it on purpose.
You were just ignoring me when I was trying to help you.
You watch as the filly's eyes tear up. Your heart flutters in your chest as you see Rarity's crushed expressions. Ponies, thanks to that awkward atmosphere, start to break away from the sisters, leaving them a bit more clear.
Sweetie, I didn't mean to ignore you either. I really appreciate you trying to help me. I really do. Darling, it's just... Oh, you know how I get with crowds.
But you're my sister. Why can't we do things together? You left me alone to go and blah blah your customers.
Go and blah blah at your customers.
This isn't supposed to be about your stupid business.
You're right. I've been an awful sister. You know what? I shouldn't be socializing. How about we go do something fun? Together?
Ice cream?
Ice cream sounds wonderful.
With the sisters reunited, you watch as the pair move towards the cake stall. Wait, the cakes brought ice cream? That sounds delicious! Your heart warms with the good you've done, and your desire for ice cream. Yeah, and that makes me wonder, if I would have done Sweetie Belle for was just staring at nothing. It's not even like Rarity's even gone. Scheiße. Makes me wonder if I would have done Sweetie Belle first and then went to Rarity. Would things have been different? Alright, so we got Rainbow Dash. There's Rainbow Dash and Company. There's Rarity and Company. So, Twilight is the only one left with possibly... Well, actually, Rarity will probably have new dialogue as well. So let's get to praising her organization. Agree. You nod your head, giving a bright smile. Yes, when things aren't organized, they just work better, don't they? That's why I came to this town with no money and no plan for living stance. The person's face lights up with glee.
Finally, some pony who understands. I'm glad we think alike. You know, this picnic, for example.
Indigo Tango is just such a weird name.
The cakes arrived here a full 5 minutes after the apples, so the food wasn't thermodynamically homogeneous.
Oh no! A nightmare!
And Rarity was still putting up decorations when every pony got
Oh, the horror!
Twilight, you know this
was supposed to be an informal picnic, right? That doesn't mean it has to be uncoordinated.
It seemed coordinated that it's working out well. You're just stressing out of nothing. By this point, the princess seems to have worked herself up into a frenzy over the situation. Is her mane frizzing? Why, yes it is.
Breathe, Twilight, breathe.
Twilight takes a moment as Spike guides her through a breathing exercise. Starlight rolls her eyes and smiles at you.
You should come back later when she's less stressed. It was nice meeting you properly this time.
Yeah, thanks. You too. She going to be alright?
She'll be fine. Just give her a second. Twilight?
Starlight turns to wave a hoof at the princess.
Say bye.
Twilight, moving through her breathing exercises, stops to look at you. She waves a hoof, pushing out a smile.
It was good to see you again. You should stop by the castle sometime.
You give a smile in return, raising your hoof. Well, that was certainly an event. Maybe I should be less stressed later. Nonetheless, you just spoke to the princess, and there are still more ponies to meet. Aye, yes there is. And now it's time to get through the rest of them. But first, let's save for a new save, and we'll call this one that. You'll like to join the sisters instead of going it on your own. You have to admit, you're curious how they're getting on now that they've made up. What just happened?
Oh, was it? I'm sorry, it just looks so delicious. I couldn't help myself. Forgive me, darling.
The fashionista opens her mouth, teasing her younger sibling. Sweetie's cheeks puff up with a big, heavy breath as she gets ready to squeal anew. You know, I don't remember Sweetie Belle squealing and complaining all that much. She's more like the mischievous of them, I always felt. The moment Sweetie's mouth opens, Rarity pushes the spoon down right into her little sister's mouth. The little filly swallowing.
I knew you'd do
Sure
that.
you did.
Oh, you did not.
Hi there, girls. You raise your hoof, smiling at the two as you come up beside the blanket. Do you mind if I join? What's up with Rarity? Both sisters look up, one with a smile, the other with a little bounce on the blanket.
Oh, you were the one that helped Sweetie and I come together, aren't you? She's told me all about it.
Come on, sit down.
You chuckle, blushing, with a little flump you plop right down. The beautiful mare and the energetic little filly both have their attention, focused on you now. And to be honest, it's a bit intimidating. Stop getting intimidated with every little thing. Oy vey vey! You don't have any
ice cream.
Oh.
I'll be right back. Thanks for coming over.
The filly rushes off to the cake bar to get more sweets, and otherwise. Rarity titters behind a hoof, watching as her sister runs off with more energy than she could hope to have. Those azure eyes of her cast back to you in but a beat.
Thank you so much for bringing us back together. I wasn't even aware that Sweetie was feeling left out. And so, I have a gift for
Ooh,
you.
what kind of gift? What? A gift? That's not necessary yet.
Please, darling, accept it. I consider it a bit of penance for my unladylike behavior earlier.
Even as you try to turn the offer down, Rarity's magic envelops her saddlebag, pulling from it a fantastic-looking scarf.
Now, don't say no. I had made a few to show off for my spring line. But seeing as how Sweetie and I are together, there's no more business to be done here,
You got a scarf. The scarf floats itself over to you, dripping with expert precision about your neck. It's light and airy, perfect for the spring and summer portions of the year. The scarf's delicate, sheer silk flutters with every faint breeze, giving you a constant feeling of floating on air. I don't know what to say. Thank you.
Oh, no, darling. too.
Oh boy.
No! Don't take it! This is his ice cream!
Okay. The filly skids to a stop right beside you, smiling with a bounce.
Here, take it! Ooh, where'd you get the scar?
What were you running from, sweetie?
The ice cream goblins.
Okay, that came out of nowhere. The three of you share a precious moment of peace then. You speak about nothing in particular, just about how nice it is to be outside or how the bird songs from Fluttershy's birds really set the mood. Still a good song. Soon enough, the ice cream is devoured and the sisters say goodbye.
Come visit us again. Can't he, Rarity?
Of course. Stop by the boutique anytime you're able, darling. You will always be welcome.
Yeah, maybe we'll play some games. Watch out for Opal, though. She'll bite your hoof off.
The outer unicorn snorts in disagreement.
She will.
From what I know of Opal, yes, she will. I'll keep an eye out. Have fun, you two. One final wave, and you're left alone, a bit more fashionable and full of ice cream. With a beckoning hoof. Let's see.
Well, did you?
Ah, yes, plenty of snacks.
I
Heard good things from the princess about you. It seems she
It
and
seems you two are something
I forgot
of
their
kindred
spoken
spirits
lines.
when it comes to being organized. Now, if only you had remembered to save up, yes?
It was an accident. I was just so excited to move to Ponyville.
No need to explain yourself. I'm sure you'll do just fine.
Sure.
I'm happy to work with you on your lack of funds. Even if it means a little bit of debt.
It's called a mortgage. It's typical.
Miss Rarity seemed nothing but impressed by you. There was even a little bit of twinkle in her eyes as she spoke.
Oh, she spoke to you about me? Then nods as she walks, smiling bright.
Oh, yes. She seemed delighted to have met you, perhaps even a little bit flushed. Good first impression. I think, given a little bit of time, you will fit right in here.
Great, I really hope so. With a cheery smile, the mayor leads you across town. You pass through the town square and around the rotunda that forms the hall. A few ponies wave at you with a smile. You can't help but wave back at the cheerful residents. Wait a second, we already went through this.
You seem to be one with the peace here in Pony.
You look at the mayor with a half smile. Yeah, well, I mean, it's just so tranquil and...
It really is. Miss Fluttershy seems to agree with me, by the way.
We know about Fluttershy. You make your way through the town looking over the edge. Blah, 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 blah. Who's next?
Granny Smith was talking
Granny
about...
Smith. Okay, so we're moving on from that to Granny Smith.
Well, with an open mind, we'll talk Bye.
And Apple Bloom. The mayor begins to speak again.
The cupcakes were
Yes,
delightful.
cupcakes, Pinkie Pie,
If
and
you
Miss
were...
Bash.
It like... Well, let's just... You really...
You give the mayor a glance. Oh?
Oh, yes. So many ponies saying so many good things about you. It's enough to touch this public servant's heart. You're quite helpful, kind, generous, and patient.
The mayor begins moving anew.
You might make quite a public servant yourself.
No, thank you.
Perhaps you could stop by the office later and assist me?
You're startled at this, watching the mayor with wide eyes. Ellipses.
I jest. You would need proper training to enter into bureaucracy. Still, if you interested. It is a thought, no?
Well, that's the invite. And apparently that was it. I wonder if the comment meant, because there are two versions of this game, and I have the more public available one because I don't support them on Patreon yet because, well, funds. So I wonder if the comment meant about the other version of this game that is out there in an alpha build. But either way, that was the one moment he mentioned, and maybe one day I will be able to find them on Patreon and check out if there was one. But that is it